She didn't slip. She wasn't dizzy. Her knees just folded underneath her. It happened on a Sunday morning. Evelyn, 72 years old, a retired librarian from Vermont, was standing at her kitchen sink, humming an old jazz tune as she washed blueberries for her pancakes. She reached for a dish towel on the floor, and suddenly the world shifted. Her legs trembled, then gave out. She landed softly, confused, one hand still holding the bowl of berries, not a single one spilled. No bruises, no sharp pain. Just a deep, unsettling question hanging in the air. What just happened to me? She sat there for several minutes, not because she couldn't move, but because something deeper had been shaken. Evelyn had always been steady. She was the kind of woman who shelved books faster than any 20-year-old assistant in her library. She prided herself on her independence, making soup from scratch, dancing in the kitchen, walking her dog every evening before sunset. But now, sitting on the cool tile floor, her breath caught in her chest, she whispered, "I think something's changing in my body." As a health educator who's worked with thousands of seniors across the country, I can tell you, this story isn't rare. It's the quiet signal that so many older adults experience and often ignore. Because the truth is, aging doesn't always begin with disease. Sometimes it starts with a drop in blood flow, a slow weakening of the legs, a loss of vitality in places that once felt strong, warm, and alive. And it's not just about movement. It's about identity, about closeness, about being able to do what you love with the people you love without hesitation or fear. But here's what Evelyn didn't know that day, that her body wasn't failing her. It was speaking to her, asking for something simple, something natural, something that could still make a difference. And in today's video, I'm going to show you what that something is. It's not a new drug. It's not a fancy supplement. It's a handful of fruits. Yes, real, ordinary fruits that have the power to restore circulation, awaken your body, and reconnect you to the life you thought was slipping away. If you've ever felt tired without reason, if your legs feel a bit heavier than they used to, if intimacy or energy seem out of reach lately, stay with me, because what we're about to explore could change not just how you move, but how you feel, how you rest, and how you love. Let's begin. What if the secret to staying strong wasn't in a pill, but sitting quietly in your fridge? It sounds almost too simple, but red grapes, the kind you pass by at the grocery store without a second thought, may be one of the most powerful allies for circulation and vitality after 60. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold. He's 76, a retired postman from Arizona who used to walk 15 miles a day delivering letters through sun, wind, and even desert dust. But lately, those legs that once carried the mail with pride started feeling heavy, weak, sometimes even numb, he said to me. "My head still wants to go for a walk, but my legs, they vote no." We ran a few basic tests: blood pressure, glucose, muscle strength. But one thing stood out. His circulation, especially to the lower body, was slowing down, and that slowdown was robbing him of more than just strength. It was affecting his sleep, his energy, and yes, even his sense of closeness with his wife. What many people don't realize is this. After age 60, blood flow to the pelvic region can drop by as much as 30%. That's not just a number. That's warmth lost in the legs, sensitivity lost in intimacy, confidence lost in daily life. But nature has its quiet way of fighting back, and one of its most overlooked tools is resveratrol, a compound found in the skin of red grapes. Resveratrol works deep inside your blood vessels. It helps them relax and widen, like opening a narrow road so more cars, or in this case, blood, can pass through. It boosts something called nitric oxide, which signals your arteries to expand and keep blood flowing freely, not just to your brain or your heart, but to your legs, your muscles, and yes, your intimate areas. Now compare that to what most men are offered: pills, fast-acting synthetic drugs that force blood flow with such intensity. They often bring headaches, vision blurs, and risky blood pressure spikes. Those may be helpful in emergencies, but they're not a plan for real health. Red grapes, on the other hand, do it gently, No side effects, no strain, just quiet support day by day. Mr. Harold started eating one bowl of red grapes every afternoon. Whole grapes, skin on, not juice, not peeled, just the real thing because that's where the resveratrol lives. Within weeks he noticed something. His feet felt warmer. His evening walks became longer. And one day he winked and said, "My wife says I'm walking taller and sleeping better." Now here's something important. Not all grapes are created equal. Many supermarkets sell large, sweet, green or red grapes grown for flavor, not function. What you want are dark red or purple grapes with that slightly tart, earthy taste. That's where the resveratrol hides. And remember, the skin is where the magic happens. So don't peel them, don't blend them, just chew. Savor. Let your body absorb what it's been quietly asking for. So if you're thinking about where to begin, a simple bowl of red grapes might be your easiest first step. And now, if that caught your attention, wait until you hear what one small, sour red berry can do for your kidneys, your comfort, and your connection. Let's talk about cranberries. Your kidneys may be the silent reason your intimacy is fading. Most people think of kidneys as something that filters water or keeps your blood clean. But very few realize just how closely your kidneys are tied to how you feel, how you connect, and how your body responds, especially after 60. Let me introduce you to Martha. She's 71, a retired piano teacher from Oregon. She always took care of herself, ate well, stayed active, but for months she had been quietly struggling with something she didn't know how to talk about. Her energy was low. She felt bloated, tired, and emotionally disconnected. And in moments of closeness with her husband, she felt more discomfort than desire. "It's like my body forgot how to feel good," she said to me, "and I don't know how to get that part of me back." We talked gently, and as we explored her symptoms, one thing kept coming up. Her kidney function just slightly below normal, not enough for alarms, but just enough to slow everything else down. Here's what many people don't realize. When your kidneys begin to lose efficiency, even slightly, toxins start to build up, circulation slows, inflammation creeps into places we'd rather not talk about, and that leads to a quiet breakdown in energy, mood, and intimacy. For men, it can mean weaker erections, lower stamina, and loss of drive. For women, it often means more dryness, irritation, and the emotional weight of not feeling like yourself. But there's good news. Nature, once again, offers an answer. And in this case, it comes in the form of a small, tart red berry called cranberry. Cranberries are rich in proanthocyanidins, a powerful natural compound that fights inflammation, supports urinary health, and helps maintain blood vessel integrity, especially in the lower body. They clean, they calm, they restore. In fact, a study from Tufts University showed that participants over 65 who consumed unsweetened cranberry juice daily for just 4 weeks experienced measurable improvements in pelvic blood flow and urinary comfort. And here's where it gets personal. Martha began drinking just 30 milliliters of pure cranberry juice each morning, followed by a small handful of unsweetened dried cranberries in her salad at lunch. Nothing fancy, just a quiet habit every day. 3 weeks later, she told me, "I don't know what's happening inside my body exactly, but I feel lighter, more myself, and my husband noticed too." She smiled when she said that. But here's something critical. Not all cranberries are helpful. Cranberry cocktails, flavored juices, or sweetened dried berries often contain more sugar than actual nutrients. That sugar can cancel out the anti-inflammatory benefits and raise your blood sugar, especially dangerous if you're already managing diabetes or blood pressure. So always look for labels that say unsweetened or 100% pure. If it tastes too sweet, it probably isn't doing you much good. Cranberries may not fix everything overnight, but they quietly do something powerful. They protect the foundation, your kidneys, which in turn supports your hormones, your blood flow, your mood, and your ability to feel connected again. Sometimes the greatest intimacy begins with feeling safe, pain-free, and balanced inside your own body. And when that returns, so does the closeness you thought was gone. Now, if you've been following so far, you've learned how two simple fruits, grapes and cranberries, can quietly rebuild parts of your health that really matter. But what if there was a fruit that didn't just help you feel better, but actually helped wake up your energy, rebuild your hormonal strength, and give you back the kind of inner fire you haven't felt in years? That's exactly what we'll talk about next. Let's meet the golden fruit that awakens everything from the inside out. This orange fruit may quietly reset your energy, testosterone, and desire. It's soft, it's sweet, and it often gets overlooked at the grocery store. But papaya, with its golden orange glow and rich tropical scent, might be one of the most powerful yet forgotten tools for restoring vitality after 60. Let me tell you about Mr. Raymond. He's 73, a retired high school principal from North Carolina, a man who once stood tall in front of hundreds of students, commanding attention with ease. But after retirement, something changed. He wasn't sleeping well. His mornings felt sluggish. His appetite dropped, and the spark in his relationship with his wife dimmed. He came to me quietly, almost embarrassed. "I'm not sick," he said, "but I don't feel like myself anymore." We took a closer look. His heart was strong. Blood pressure was fine. But his adrenal glands, the tiny powerhouses that help manage stress and regulate energy, were showing signs of fatigue. And his testosterone levels were just below the healthy range for his age. Here's what made the difference. Papaya. You see, papaya is rich in vitamins A, C, and E, all of which support hormone balance and protect the glands responsible for energy, mood, and drive. But it also contains papain, a powerful enzyme that improves digestion, reduces inflammation, and supports adrenal function. When the adrenal glands are balanced, the body produces better levels of both testosterone in men and estrogen in women. Mr. Raymond began each morning with half a papaya, scooped fresh and chilled. He added a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt, rich in protein and probiotics, and within 3 weeks something shifted. He walked into my office with a smile. "My sleep is deeper," he said. "My wife says I laugh more, and for the first time in months I woke up excited to start the day." He didn't change his whole life. He just changed his breakfast. But there's a small warning here. Papaya, when left to ripen too long, can ferment slightly. That means it might cause bloating or gas, especially in people with sensitive stomachs. So avoid papayas that are overly soft or starting to smell sour. And if your digestion is sensitive, don't eat it on an empty stomach. Pair it with something creamy, like yogurt or a few almonds, to make it easier on your system. Papaya may not get the attention of superfoods like blueberries or kale, but what it lacks in fame, it makes up for in gentle power. It doesn't jolt your system. It nourishes it from the inside out. It gives you just enough to feel stronger, clearer, and yes, more alive. And that's the quiet beauty of food like this. You don't always notice it overnight, but your body does. And now we've looked at 3 fruits, each one restoring a part of your strength. Red grapes for blood flow, cranberries for kidney support, papaya for hormone balance and energy. But what if I told you there's one more fruit? A fruit that supports not just your body, but also your emotional connection. A fruit that improves sleep, calms the mind, and gently brings your body back to the rhythm of closeness. Let's explore the surprising power of cherries. Some fruits nourish your body, but others do something deeper. They help your mind rest, your heart soften, and your body remember how to feel close again. Cherries belong to that second group. Let me tell you about a couple I once worked with, Helen and Robert. She was 68, he was 71. Married for over 40 years and still holding hands during walks around their small town in Ohio. But something had shifted in their rhythm. Robert had trouble falling asleep. Helen felt emotionally distant. They weren't arguing, but there was a silence between them that neither could quite explain. Helen said to me, "It's like we're next to each other, but not really together." When I asked about Robert's sleep, he nodded slowly. "I wake up around 3 a.m. most nights," he said, and in the morning I feel like my body forgot to rest. That lack of sleep was doing more than making him tired. It was interfering with his hormonal balance, especially melatonin and testosterone, both crucial for mood, energy, and intimacy. And that's where cherries came in. Cherries, especially tart cherries, contain a natural form of melatonin, the hormone that signals your body to wind down and sleep deeply. But they also contain anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation and improve blood vessel flexibility, especially in the pelvic region. That means better circulation, more relaxed muscles, and calmer nerves. Together, those small shifts add up to something that's easy to feel, but hard to explain. The quiet return of comfort, warmth, and connection. I suggested a simple nightly ritual. About 6 to 8 tart cherries in the evening, or a small glass of unsweetened tart cherry juice, around 30 to 50 milliliters. Nothing drastic, just a small, meaningful signal to the body that it's time to rest, heal, and reconnect. Within 2 weeks, Helen sent me an email. "Robert is sleeping through the night again," she wrote, "and we've started dancing in the kitchen after dinner, not because we planned to, just because we felt like it." That's the magic cherries can bring, not fireworks, but a return to natural rhythm, to peaceful sleep, to a body that feels safe enough to open up again. A quick note of caution. Many cherry products on the market are loaded with sugar or artificial flavoring. Those versions may taste good, but they cancel out the very benefits your body needs. Always choose unsweetened juice, fresh cherries, or dried cherries with no added sugar. And if you take medications for sleep or blood pressure, speak to your doctor, just to make sure cherries complement your current plan. Cherries won't change your life in one night, but over time, they create the environment your body needs to restore what aging may have gradually taken away. Deep sleep, relaxed blood flow, and emotional presence. So far, we've explored 4 powerful fruits, each one repairing a layer of health: circulation, kidneys, hormones, and sleep. But there is still one more fruit worth mentioning. It is often ignored, but inside it lies a secret weapon for both heart health and hormonal recovery. And if you're wondering whether your best years are behind you, this next fruit might help you believe otherwise. Let's talk about the ruby red jewel that defends your heart and fuels your hormones. The pomegranate, the fruit nobody's talking about, yet could be the most powerful of all. When people think about heart health or blood flow, they rarely think of the pomegranate. It's not as common as grapes or as trendy as blueberries, but hidden behind its ruby red seeds is one of nature's strongest allies for circulation, hormone support, and cellular repair. Let me share a story with you. Mr. Julian, age 67, a retired bus driver from Minnesota, had struggled for months with low energy and heavy legs. He described it as feeling like he was walking through water, each step slower than the last. But his heart was fine, his diet was reasonable, and his blood pressure was under control. Still, something felt stuck. He had less drive, less clarity, and moments of intimacy with his wife became fewer, not by choice but by limitation. That's when we looked deeper and found that while his heart was healthy, his blood vessels weren't as responsive. They had become stiff, narrowed, tired. That's when I suggested something simple: a glass of pomegranate juice each morning. Why pomegranate? Because this vibrant fruit contains punicalagin, a rare antioxidant that helps protect and repair the lining of blood vessels, and nitrate compounds that naturally support nitric oxide production, the same mechanism responsible for improving circulation, oxygen delivery, and performance. In fact, a study from UCLA found that men over 65 who drank 100 milliliters of pure pomegranate juice daily for 2 weeks showed measurable improvements in both blood flow and testosterone levels, especially in the lower body. My legs feel lighter. I don't need to rest halfway up the stairs anymore, and my wife said my laugh came back. That's the power of a fruit most people ignore. Pomegranate doesn't just help the heart. It helps the entire vascular system, bringing more oxygen and nutrients to the brain, muscles, and reproductive organs. and its antioxidant strength is remarkable, 3 times higher than green tea. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Always choose 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugars or artificial flavoring. Aim for about 100 milliliters each morning. And if you are currently taking blood pressure medication or anticoagulants, please speak with your doctor first. Pomegranate can enhance the effects of these drugs, which may be dangerous if not monitored properly. Also, for those who prefer eating the seeds, that's a wonderful option too. Just make sure to chew them slowly to absorb the nutrients in the juice and the flesh. Pomegranate may be the missing piece in your daily rhythm, especially if you've tried other options and still feel like something's holding you back. Sometimes, all it takes is a little more flow, a little more oxygen, a little more lightness in the body, to remind you of what life still has to offer. And now, you've met 5 fruits, each one nourishing a different layer of your vitality. Grapes for blood flow, cranberries for kidney support, papaya for hormones, cherries for sleep and connection, and pomegranate for full body circulation and strength. But what does all of this mean for you? Let's take a moment to bring it all together and talk about how to turn these small changes into a powerful lifestyle that restores not only your body, but your sense of freedom. The real gift isn't in the grapes or the papaya, it's in what they give back to you. Over the past few minutes, you've discovered 5 powerful fruits, each one quietly unlocking a part of your health that aging may have tried to take away. Red grapes for blood flow, cranberries for kidney support, papaya for hormone balance, cherries for restful sleep and emotional closeness, and pomegranate for full body circulation and renewed strength. These are not magic cures, but they are reminders that even small changes, done with care and consistency, can create powerful results. One bowl of grapes may not change your life tomorrow, but eaten daily, it might help you walk farther, breathe easier, and feel more confident in your body. A few cherries at night might help you rest just a little deeper, and that rest might bring you closer to the one you love. This is the quiet revolution of nourishment, not loud, not rushed, but steady, faithful, and deeply personal. So here's my invitation for you tomorrow morning. Choose one of these fruits, just one, add it to your breakfast. Let that be your first step. And if this video reminded you of someone you care about, your spouse, your mother, your father, a dear friend who's been feeling tired lately, share it with them. Because sometimes, one small suggestion, one thoughtful gesture, can change the direction of someone's health, and maybe even their life. And as you move forward, remember this: the most beautiful part of growing older is realizing you still have choices. You still have the power to nourish, to love, to connect. And sometimes, all it takes is one cherry to bring 2 people a little closer again.